You are listening to Single Smart Female. This is Jen, explaining the possibilities in your love life and examining your Mantourage dating experiences. I am here to help you do life and love on your terms by tipping the scales of love permanently in your favor. So don't forget to text this episode to all of your single smart girlfriends, and let's get started. Hello, single smart female. It's your romantic fairy godmama coming to you today with a single smart female listener question. Now, this listener question comes all the way from the great state of Illinois. And Miss Midwest Maywest, love your name, by the way. She gave herself that name. I was really impressed. Miss Midwest Maywest, who is 53 years old, and again in the great state of Illinois, writes, Dear Jen, long story short, I was new to Mantourage dating. I started back last February, and I set up a nice group of about 5 good guys. And I became hyper-focused on one, basically rejected the others and gave the gift of my exclusivity to him. Yes, only him. He didn't even ask for it, nor did he want it. And after almost 4 months, we decided to take a break. I still consider him in my Mantourage since he still calls and texts. Here's where I need you. So last week, after being off the dating sites for several months, I went active again. What has resulted is a whole new inventory of seemingly high-quality men who want to adore me. I like it. 10, actually. 1 cross-country, a couple locals, and the rest about 2 hours away. What do I do with all these men? On a side note, although I have failed at a first attempt when I became too focused too soon on the first go-around, I am amazed at the quality of men matching with me now. Incredible. I want to get it right this time. Help! Okay. So Miss Midwest Maywest. Okay, I've got some great information for you here, and no worries. This is one of the best problems to have. You got 10 guys that's seemingly high quality that you want to talk to. Now, if we were working together, I would teach you a process that we do in Secret Society where I teach you how to vet the men before you actually even go out on a date with them and do it in a fun game format. Now, with that said, I want you to understand something. When you have a lot of men that you are matching with, then you get to pick what you feel like the best out of them. And that's just the nature of what's going on. You pick your top contenders that you want to continue talking to because it is more challenging. Now, if you have a little extra time, you can have a conversation with these 10 men. And I would, if you're able to, have a conversation with as many as you can to see whether or not they weren't going out on a first date because you have lots of good options right now. And otherwise, you could, kind of narrow it down to 5. And like when I'm working with a client, I'll gauge, how busy her life is in order how much time she can dedicate. Because the thing you don't want to do is make this a chore. Once you make it a chore and you're not having any fun with it, then you become disillusioned before you've even gone out on these dates. And that's where it becomes easier to hyper-focus because in hyper-focus, you have that just one person to focus on, and that seems a lot more manageable in your head, although we know that, and you know already, hyper-focus is the almost exclusive kiss of death for a relationship before it starts. So, again, great problem to have. Talk to as many as that you would like right now and feel comfortable doing without overwhelming yourself. Reminder for all ladies, you do not have to incessantly talk to somebody in order to hold their attention. And if you do, you need to get rid of that guy anyway, because that's a very high maintenance guy. And there's ways to do that, ways that when I work with women, that's what we do is we learn how to manage male attention. We learn how to communicate more fun and effectively and to have engagement that is actually fun for both of you and gives you a better idea of whether this is a great man to go out on a first date with. Because this whole idea of just meeting people straight away, nobody's got time for that crap. Nobody has time for that crap. So why do it that way? Because you're setting, again, getting disenchanted when you're talking to too many people it's also the same thing as getting disenchanted because you're going straight to the date, straight to a very boring date. And it's just a repetitive pattern of going out on boring dates. It's not turning out the way you want because you didn't take the time to assess things first. And then you're just going to keep having crappy results and get disillusioned with dating. It doesn't have to be that way. I'm not going to promise you that every moment's going to be absolutely magical, but I am going to promise you that you're going to significantly upgrade the experience of dating, which when you do that, significantly upgrades the quality of man that you're going to go into a relationship with. Why? Because you're exploring your options, you're learning to Mantourage date, and you're also a Miss Midwest May West here. You're learning to pick and choose and have all these great things. And you can see right now that maybe even the fact that you became hyper-focused, which I don't want you to beat yourself up for, and you're not, and I like that. And for anybody else who's done it before, you know what? Okay, I became hyper-focused. I'm going to move on and I'm going to do it differently. And it opens up another world for you. The one caution I want to give you in all this, if you do decide to kind of whittle it down, say you just want to talk about 5 men at a time or something like that, make sure you don't eliminate somebody just because maybe physically he isn't your type. We do that a lot as women, okay? And there might be somebody fascinating in that mix who will turn you on like you've never been turned on before, but because he's not something historically you'd be attracted to, you're going to eliminate somebody that has the potential to make you feel things, the most incredible things over a lifetime that you never expected. Okay, Lover Girl, it's time for the final thought on today's show. Having several high-quality men to choose from in dating is always a good problem to have, period. Hey again, Lover Girl. Don't forget to subscribe to the show in your favorite podcast app, as well as share this episode with all of your single smart girlfriends. And if you are the woman who is ready to create the dating and love life experiences that others say don't exist, meet me over at secretsocietyofAdoredWomen.com to schedule your application interview.